morning. I guess it's about 5 degrees Celsius outside, so I'd rather spend a couple of hours here in my warm sleeping bag, but I guess I have to get going, so I'm just gonna pack up the tent and hit the road. I'm feeling a bit tired and I want to stretch my legs. Well, what do you see? There's a couch waiting for me at the side of the road. So someone's having a nice Saturday night here, I guess. There's a lot of fire pits just below me here. Nice activity for a Saturday night. Sitting in a comfy chair and doing your barbecue along the road and watching the cars go by. So I just passed this place and thought I would take a short breakfast / lunch break. This is some kind of fishing shed, but I think it's for everyone to use, so I'm just gonna go and have a short look inside. So I guess after you catch your salmon here in the river, you can grill it here on the barbecue and eat it. Kind of a nice place, I think. Let's go down to the water and check it out. There's also a fire pit down here by the river. So I didn't talk about this yesterday, but what makes the Vindel River so special is that it's one of only 4 rivers in Sweden that aren't regulated by hydropower. Since this is starts up in a national park, it's kept out of the hydropower business. So that's why there's so many rapids along this river. You don't see that in other rivers, kind of like the Skellefteå River that I followed last year. That has maybe 15 hydropower plants along the river, so doesn't have these rapids that the Vindel River has. So that makes this Vindel River very popular for fishing and whitewater rafting. This is a typical Swedish treat. This is cheese on a tube. And this is perfect when you're out camping because this stays really well. Don't have to have it refrigerated or anything. So this can probably have this for a week without it going bad. So you just squeeze out a piece of cheese on your sandwich and you're good to go. This poster behind me here talks about the common species of fish that you can catch in the Vindel River. You have salmon, grayling and trout. Those are the 3 most common fish that you can find here. The responsible bike tourists. Just found myself a nice rest stop here. I'm gonna take a short snack break and going down and look at the stream behind me here. Really cold, but good. The water level is pretty high right now. You can see the trees here are completely drenched by the water. Okay, so here's the deal. This trip was originally planned to be a 3-day trip, But this morning I looked at the weather forecast for tomorrow, and it's gonna be raining cats and dogs, to say the least. I don't know if you can see this, but it says that it's gonna rain approximately 30 millimeters tomorrow, the whole day. So I've got a plan B set in motion. My parents are visiting some relatives in a town called Lycksele, and they're on their way home this afternoon. So I'm gonna hitch a ride with them later this afternoon, and unfortunately I have to cut the trip short here, but I still got a lot of nice riding left to do today, and I'll just have to make the last piece of this trip some other time. This one behind me is called Storforsen, which means Grand Rapids. And as the name hints, this is probably gonna be the biggest rapids we're gonna see all day. So these rapids behind me are called Vormforsen, and these are the last ones we're gonna see this trip. Finally at the end of this little trip here. Shorter than I expected, but yeah, that's life. My ride is coming along in a couple of minutes here. If you're planning on doing some bike touring in Sweden, I can really recommend cycling along this Vindl River. It's a really scenic ride and really flat, so it's kind of easy to go along. These rapids that I passed, I guess there are, I think, 40 or 50 rapids along this river, and all of them are really well marked, so just follow the signs and go down to the river, and you get rewarded with a really scenic view. You're probably gonna see a lot of wildlife. I passed a lot of big birds that I didn't have time to fetch my camera from the handlebar bag, but at least I got my camera out in the end here and filmed those reindeer. So a lot of wildlife and a lot of scenic views along the river. So overall a really terrific couple of days here along the Vindl River. Well, until next time, have a good one.